Hey folks, welcome there to another round of Modern. We have Leland Machin on the left playing Bant Coco, aka Bant Soulherder, aka Aspiring Spike Deck Number Brew 103 versus Nick Urban on the right playing Mono Red Saga Burn, which I'm thinking is probably not the greatest name for it, but it is what Nick called it, and I don't know. I don't know what to call it really. It's just like it's really just red deck wins, right? Like it's just an aggressive red deck that plays Urza Saga. Yeah, so let's talk about this. On the left, I feel like, we're going to pause real quick. I feel like the last time, or one of the last times Nick played this deck on camera, he was against this Bant deck. So I feel like I'm just Groundhog Daying the commentary. But I could be wrong. So, Nick's deck plays a lot of low-value red creatures, as well as some artifact interaction. He plays Shrapnel Blast, Urza Saga to make constructs. And his constructs can get pretty big, right? So you have like Voldaren Epicure right there, makes a blood token. Blood token is an artifact. Saga triggers are, making constructs, getting artifacts. You have Ragavan to create treasures. And there's just a lot of like cute little interactions that, honestly, pretty big fan of. There's Experimental Synthesizer in the deck, which if you don't know what that does, it is a common, I believe, from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. When it enters the battlefield, or when it leaves the battlefield, you can exile the top card of your deck. You may play that until the end of this turn. And it's pretty cool. It's cute. You can Shrapnel Blast it, it's the whole thing. There's a Dragon's Rage Channeling, and a Surveil Trigger from the Springleaf Drum getting cast. Mishra's Bauble. He's going to leave the card on top. Going to Galvanic Blast the Wall of Omens there, as he does have Metalcraft. Attacks in for one of the Epicure. But yeah, it's a pretty cool deck, honestly. There's some cute stuff in it. Leland's deck is, as I said, it is the Aspiring Spike deck. Minus one copy of Time Warp. I believe Spike plays a third copy in the sideboard. Leland only owns two. And if Spike only plays two, then Leland only has one. I know he has one less than Spike plays. So his list is... I forget what he's playing in placement of. It's some weird card that you can like put two lands on the top of somebody's deck. It's a very Leland-esque card if you know Leland at all. But basically, it's just like exile ETB trigger deck, right? You have Eternal Witness to buy back, Ephemerate and Time Warp to go infinite. Because Eternal Witness and Ephemerate is just a completely fair combo, totally. Soulherder to like blink stuff like Wall of Omens that it'll get bigger. Then you have draw effects from the things you exile, like Wall of Blossoms, Ice-Fang Coatl, Wall of Omens. You can blink Eternal Witness with it, so you have your Ephemerates, you have Solitudes in the deck. If it's got a good ETB and is green or white and like reasonably low costed, it's probably in the deck. You also play Collected Company because you can just Coco into the stuff. Knight of Autumn out of the sideboard. I don't remember if there's one in the main or not. Which, depending on the matchup, can be backbreaking. Knight of Autumn, honestly, is like one of my favorite cards. I was like, whenever I read it the first time, I was like, this card's cool. And then every time I've played it, I'm like, God, I love this card. Nick casting a Light Up the Stage here. Actually, I think two Light Up the Stages. One of those cards also that I'm a big fan of. Very good card. Not advantage. I guess it technically is advantage. Very good card advantage for those aggressive red decks. It's a Mishra's Bauble here. Nick has now two Dragon's Rage Channelers that are, or at least should be, delirious. He's got an Urza Saga in play. We're cooking with some gas. He's revealed a card today from Dominaria United that I'm very excited for. Leyline Binding? Oh, baby. My 4-color heart is... It's a beaten. Going pitter-patter. Honestly, I've been pretty happy with a lot of the Dominaria United cards that have been revealed so far. There's a lot of cool stuff. Very excited. Lily on the Veil coming into Standard as well as Pioneer will be pretty sweet. I know I talk trash on that card a lot. I don't think it's very good still. But I think, or at least in Modern Legacy, but I think it'll be pretty solid in Pioneer. And anything is really good in Standard that doesn't suck at like the baseline of a card, which Lily doesn't. All right, coming in for 6 here. Leland just has to take and go to 7. He could jam a collected company. He's doing that now. There are a lot of flying threats that he could theoretically hit here. I mean, Endurance would be huge. So would Ice Fang. No, the Quaddles wouldn't have Death Touch. Finds double Soulherder. Okay. Not exactly what you want to see, but not the worst thing in the world. Actually, it might be his worst hits. I don't know what else would be worse in the main board. Because Quaddles at least block and draw cards. Actually, if he hits double Quaddle, they would have Death Touch. I guess the wall, because the wall still draw you cards. Alright, Nick's going to Shrapnel Blast Leland, and that'll kill him. So Nick will take game 1, and we'll be right back with game 2 in just a second. It should hypercut right about now. Did I not pre-cut this round? I did pre-cut the round. Alright, cool. Leon's going to lead on a tapped Temple Garden. Card I recently just found that I only owned 3 of and thought I owned 4 for the longest time. Nick's going to lead on a Mountain into a Bowmat Courier. 1 mana, 1/1 haste. That has an attack trigger that you exile the top card of your deck and you put it underneath of it. And you may pay red to discard your hand and sacrifice the Bowmat Courier. All the cards underneath the courier then become your hand. Pretty cool card design. Pretty good card. I have cast it a reasonable amount of times in my life. Leona's going to play a Wall of Omens, which will block the Bowmat Courier, theoretically, until the end of time. Is that experimental synthesis? I can't say the name. The card we talked about from Kamigawa, the exile the top card. There is a light up the stage. It's a Mishra's Bubble. A Galvanic Blast, killing the wall. Tax in for 1. Trigger on the courier. It honestly is pretty sweet because you can just like play out your entire hand and then sack the courier to get cards back. And it's not selective card draw, and you can't look at the cards that are underneath the courier, so you don't know if the cards that are in your hand are better or worse or the same as what's underneath the courier. I believe I said that wrong. I think at some point I said courier twice. I meant to say hand or courier. And fetching basics, potentially playing around Blood Moon. It's a Noble Hierarch into a Wall of Omens. Imagine he just wants to conserve his life total and not playing around Blood Moon, because it would be weird for the Urza Saga deck to bring in Blood Moon, but hey, you never know. It's a Mishra's Bubble. Cracks the bauble target himself. There's a 3 mana light up the stage. Exile the top 2 cards of the deck. Finds basic Mountain Bowmat Courier. He's able to play those cards until the end of his next turn. Leland has 5 mana available to him this turn. I wonder if the deck plays Prismatic Ending. It probably doesn't. It does play Skyclave Apparition, which is huge right here. Because not only are you taking out the Bowman card, you're taking out 3 potential cards. Or cards that Nick could have potentially had. Could be 3 copies of Shrapnel Blast. Alright, plays an Outland Liberator, which will cause the players to keep track of the day-night cycle the rest of this game. An awful time. I know I was teasing Leland throughout the game about day night. I don't think. Oh, he had the token. It's just off camera the entire time. I can't remember if the Skyclave Apparition is like stock or not. I think typically it's deputy detention. Do they play Skyclave? I don't think so. Urza Saga Construct coming out. This is the deputy detention is amazing. It's Urza Saga. Holy crap. I've seen some blowouts by Spike. Sorry, I'm chewing a trail mix. Currently those are 5/5 constructs. Just gonna block there. Pirate Spellbomb pops the Outland Liberator, activates the Hierarch in order, or taps the Hierarch for mana, activates the Outland Liberator, pops the Construct. Alright, 3 mana, here comes the Soulherder. The weird part is Skyclave Apparition can't take tokens. Alright, it's a non-token battle card. Battle card, creature card. Battle card, god. My Dragon Ball days are coming back to me. I'm gonna untap and draw. Alright, we're gonna hard cast a light up the stage again. We're gonna tap 2 cards of the deck. Get a mountain, put it into play. Has an Unholy Heat. I don't know if he has Delirium. We know he has Sorcery Artifact. I imagine there's a creature in there. And... or no, he definitely does, because there's a Saga. So he has Sorcery Artifact, Enchantment, Land. Alright, Unholy Heat kills the Soulherder. Attacks in here, Bowmat Courier. Puts the wall in front of the construct. Takes 1 from the Bowmat. The day-night card has flipped. I see a Glass Pool Mimic in his hand. A Wall of... oh, no, that's a Solitude. No, it is a Wall of Omens. Okay. I think he has a Solitude, too, but... Wall gonna draw a card. Picks up an Ephemerate. Fantastic. There is Outland Liberator coming out again. Leland's mana is a little tight here. He has 1 blue source. I feel like he has a Triumph in his deck. Maybe he was playing around Blood Moon? Why not just like... If he isn't playing around Blood Moon, he could have just fetched Aspire's Headquarters. Is a Prismatic Vista. Alright, fetches down to 13. I feel like this game, while Leland hasn't necessarily done terribly much in order to just like pull the game firmly into his favor, I feel like the longer and longer the game goes, Nick's deck is just gonna run out of things. Unless he draws like another Urza Saga here within like a turn or two. I feel like Leland should be able to grind him out from here. Especially now that he has Ephemerate. He used to Ephemerate the Eternal Witness every turn. Get to do some gross stuff. Phone just got 10 million notifications at once. What's going on? Alright, is it on Holy Heat? Goes to blink the Eternal Witness. Nick has removal spell number 2. That is how you deal with Ephemerate right there. Just tell them no. Multiple times. We ask them firmly but kindly to leave. I don't know why. While watching this live, I kept expecting Nick to just have like an Anger of the Gods, because it would be gorgeous right now. Sure, he loses his construct, but Leland loses 3 creatures, and then Nick gets a 1/1 out of it too. Plays double Bowmat Courier, passes the turn. Plays Eternal Witness, buys back Ephemerate. Ooh, found the second island. Deputy Detention would be so good right here. Like, You just take the Bomat couriers, and then the construct becomes a 2/2. You can block the construct forever. Like, it's so good. It's so good. I think we're debating on here if we want to play the Glasspool Mimic. And if you do, I imagine you just make it into a copy of the Skyclave Apparition. Now, what you take with the Skyclave Apparition, I'm not exactly sure what's correct. If you take the experimental synthesizers, they're able to just get the effect, because I'm pretty sure it's just a leaves the battlefield trigger, which we're going to check real quick. Yeah. It leaves the battlefield. So if he Skyclaves takes that, it's just not worth it. Skyclave Apparition can't take non-token, or can't take token permanents. And then the other thing I wanted to check is Outland Liberator. Is it the attack trigger? Okay, it's the backside that has the attack trigger. I was like, why are we not attacking with the Liberator? That's why. Because I forgot. Because I'm dumb. Alright. So we chose to take the synthesizer, took a Shrapnel Blast off the top of the deck. I'm pretty sure at this point Leland is in control of the game. Nick's gonna buy Gigantha. Looks like Leland has Ephemerate Solitude in hand. Because Leland could just like, Ooh, nighttime, we've flipped. We now have an attack trigger. Alright, I got an Holy Heat killing that. Talking with my coworker about this new card that got revealed. That slots pretty well into 4-color. I was like, I'm too excited for this. Keep getting distracted thinking about it. It's a good card, man. I'm very excited. So we have 6 total mana here. And pass the turn, he could hard cast the Solitude and then ephemerate it in the end step, and then ephemerate the Eternal Witness and pick it back up. 5 mana, play Gigantha. Go into combat. I feel like if I'm going to do the Solitude play, I do it before the Bomat Courier trigger. But, yeah. There's a Vold Iron Epic here. Leon's going to go to 14. Next, he's going to get a Blood token. I appreciate that he has the tokens and also has them in different color sleeves. There's a hard cast Solitude. Exile Gigantha. There's the Ephemerate. Exile probably the Courier. Upkeep Ephemerate Rebound trigger. Target the Eternal Witness. The Eternal Witness picks it back up. Picked up a Rafine's Tower. Or no, sorry, Sparrow's Headquarters. The Bant one. Rafine's is Esper. Attacking in for 7 damage. You have to love that sorcery speed cycle. Tapped Hallowed Fountain. Passes a turn. Another Dragon's Rage Chandler. Ephemerate the Solitude. And yep, they're just going to scoop it up. Leland's going to take game 2, having established the Blink shenanigans against Nick. And we'll be right back with game 3 once they clean up and magically... There we go. Mulligan and all that jazz. Alright, Mountain Ragavan. Forest into a Noble Hierarch. So it takes 2 damage real quick from that Ragavan attack. Reveals an Ice Fang Coatl. Oh god, there's a piece of peanut stuck in my throat. I'm dying. But the content. There's the Dragon's Rage Channeling. Pop and Treasure for an Unholy Heat. Surveil. If the Noble Hierarch dies anyways. Alright, fetching with a Misty Rainforest. Shocking down to 15. Are we playing a wall? Turn 2, we played a wall the last 2 games. So my assumption is a Wall of Omens is coming down. There we go. I've just now, while thinking about this card for 4 color, I've just now realized that Columbus is not going to have Dominaria United cards legal for the event. So I'm a tad bit less excited. So I was very excited to play with the cards in Columbus. But not the point. Right, there's an Experimental Synthesizer coming down. We're going to get a Surveil trigger. Bids a bolt. Hits the land. Perfect. Plays out a Bomat Courier. Attacks in. Wall blocks the Ragavan. Takes 2. He has an Ice Fang Coatl to hand. That blocks Ragavan pretty well too. Which I think is what I would do here. I think I just like leave the Coatl up. Have it try and kill Ragavan. He has an Endurance in his hand too. It's pretty good. Right, fetching here with the Misty Rainforest. I imagine he's just getting a basic forest. Or a snow-covered basic forest. There it be. Be it there. Here comes that Endurance, I'm assuming. It's going to target Nick for the effect. Lets the effect resolve. Does he have a Shrapnel Blast to kill the Endurance? Oh, he does. Sacks the Synthesizer, going to get the trigger on that. Has a Surveil trigger, though, from the Darcy. Ooh, reveals Urza Saga's pretty good. Wall blocks Ragavan. 2 damage, puts Leland to 10. Saga's land for turn. Plays a Shadow Spear. Getting a Surveil trigger. Bends a Channeler. So now we are at 3 types in the graveyard. Alright, Saga goes to 2. Alright, goes to Flash and Endurance. I imagine the Endurance trigger once again will target Nick. There we are. Looks like Shrapnel Blast number 2 sacks the Shadow Spear. Gets a Surveil trigger. Leaves it on top. Takes 2, goes down to 8. Increments of 2, baby. Increments of 2. Alright, there's a Wall of Omens. Unfortunately, not going to be helpful if Nick is able to get Delirium. Which he will, once the Saga pops. Imagine he just gets a Pirate Spellbomb here. Because that should be lethal. Barring another Endurance. Gets a Mystery Spellbomb, okay. Plays Channeler number 3. Cast Shrapnel Blast. Where'd the other mana come from? Oh, he had one floating from the Urza Saga. Okay. Yep, Blast Leland down to 3. And then, yep, the air attacks are lethal. So Nick is going to take a 2-1 with Mono Red Saga Burn versus Bant, Soulherder, Coco. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.